Welcome to week 9, day 40 of the fall 2024 programming fundamentals with C Sharp. My name's Jim Kaufman with Rankin Technical College. First, I want to congratulate everyone on reaching the halfway mark, the midpoint of the C Sharp course. You've all made a lot of progress in the last 40 days. And, to get to this point, things will kind of actually be easier in a way going forward here. A lot of the, there'll be a few challenges here and there, but, you've really covered a lot of the basic things that are needed for the programming language for this course, of course. Obviously, there's always things to learn and always advanced features and so forth. But I just want to, congratulate everyone. So basically today, all I'm going to do is really cover the assignments that are due this week. Usually on Tuesday mornings when I make the hands-on test available, but I just decided just go ahead and do that today. So the hands-on test, all these should be available for you to look at. Plus you have links in the email to them. So the hands-on test is due Thursday by 7 a.m. And also there will be, I don't know what this work ethic course is all composed of. You should be receiving an email if you haven't already about taking this work ethic. They sent me an email just saying that my classes will be, receiving an email and we'll need to do it within a week's period. It should take about 3 hours. So that's why I was gonna make the midterm just do like in a week, but I figured, with that added on, I gave you just a little extra time. So on that. So also we got chapter 10 labs part 2. So that'll be Sunday by midnight. And then I have the midterm project, which is a calculator. And that will be, so you'll have 10 days to do that. So that'll be due Wednesday the 30th by midnight. So let's go ahead and look at these labs, our hands-on test here first, I guess. Not a lot here, I think, to go through here, but let me still do this quickly. So here we've got a GUI app where, you're just, it's test scores, which we've kind of done before, but now you're going to be using this test statistics class. You're going to create a new class called test statistics, and just be adding the scores. Here's your instance variables. Obviously, they're private here. Then you've got your public test statistics, which is your constructor, and you have a method called add score. And here's just your properties for your different to get your different to get the different variables. And here it just has, obviously if there's a situation where you feel you need to use a set, always do that. But in this case, it's just basically it's stating that you're going to be populating your variables here from your test statistics when you create it, and then you're just going to be getting them this way. So not a lot on this. So basically, if the test score is outside the range, then throw an argument exception. Okay. So make sure you do that. Not anything too new here that you haven't already had experience with. The GUI's pretty simple. The second one here. So the second one here, you're going to have to do a little bit of research. So here's, these are different C# .NET exceptions that are part of the framework, right? And they're part of the language. And so what this is asking you to do, so a lot of times we've created, well, this last exercise in the hands-on test, it said you to throw in a arithmetic exception, right? let's see what is that what I said. No, argument exception. Sorry, this is an argument exception. Here it's asking you to basically it's asking you to create scenarios, right? So you're going to write code. You'll have to learn how does an arithmetic exception get thrown, right? And then you're going to create code that's going to automatically throw that exception. You're not going to use the throws keyword. You're not going to throw it, but you're just going to write the code that's going to end up that's going to end up initiating that exception, right? It's going to cause that exception. So you got an arithmetic exception, a format exception, invalid cast exception, and a null reference exception. Okay, so you'll have to do a little bit of research and figure out how you can, create your code so it's gonna end up throwing one of those exceptions, right? Itself internally without you manually throwing them. But you will catch it though, right? You'll catch that exception, but you're not going to throw it. You're going to create the scenario for it to be thrown by the framework. Okay. So any questions about that? I don't shouldn't be too, but these are just four big buttons here. You just create these big buttons here, and you're just going to click one, and it's going to execute the code for that. Okay. So not too much there. Let's go through the Chapter 10 labs. So here you're creating a student class and you're creating a course class that has a name and a list of student objects. So your course list is holding on to that. I don't think there's much here. You're obviously using this rich text box here. Create a course that has a name and dictionary. So, dictionary, we've used a lot of lists. And I know that there was some assignment earlier, I think we might have used a dictionary. Maybe some students did, some students didn't. So let me just show you a real quick example of about a dictionary. So, here's just a quick little program. It's actually just a little console program. And it has a list of students, right? Base a student object. And then it creates new students, with an ID, first name, last name, and an email address. Okay. Let's see what this has on here. Okay, no. And so what you're going to do here on this is, so here's your list of students, and then what you could do is you're going to load a directory, okay? And just a little refresher on a directory. Directories are really good when you need to perform a lot of look operations on data. So especially when you got some really complex data sets, and you need to do a lot of lookups on that data set. Dictionaries are built; they're very fast for that purpose. So this is just using another type of collection that we haven't really used much of. We've been using a lot of lists, but here you're loading a student dictionary, and then obviously you create. Dictionary is all about key values. Here's your key is your int, and then your values, your student. And so here it's using a student ID using the .add on your dictionary, and then you've got a student ID, and then you're using the student object, right? So the dictionary will just have a list of all the IDs, and it'll have an associate student object with each one. This whole object will be included, right? This whole object will be included, but the int will be just this one, right? So that's how you would load it. If you want to add additional students, you just do another add here. This is showing you looping through your students to add them. Okay, so you're looping through all your students in your enrolled list, an enrolled student list, and adding all of them. And then if you just want to add a single one, then you basically just create a new student object, and then do this add as well. Same concept there. And for our dictionary, for remove, you do the dot remove, and you can just remove that student from the list. And let's see. So here's a situation where basically what you're doing is trying to find the student in your you're trying to find the student in your dictionary. So here's your student dictionary. Try to get value, and here's your student defined, right? And then this is just using an out of the found student, okay? So, and then, and this is just showing you how to display all the students in the dictionary. So I hope that gives you a little bit of background in the dictionary, and obviously you can look that up, search Google that or whatever to learn if you need any assistance in that area. So that's that. So I don't think this will be bad either. This, 3 labs. Actually, I don't think this is going to be should be a really, the calculator may be a little bit of a challenge for you, but this lab shouldn't be bad. The hands-on test should not be bad either. So, it shouldn't really be too tough of a week for you here compared to other weeks. So you don't have to worry about any written test. So let's go ahead and go over the midterm here. So this is creating a basic calculator. You're going to have a calculator class and a memory calculator class. I think the easiest thing for me to do is actually show you the thing itself running, the program running. Let me get that up here and running for you. So, first thing I kind of really want to mention is, a lot of times in a calculator you can do like 7 plus 7 plus 7. Here you're not really going to be doing that. You're just going to have 2 operands, right? So your first one, you push the number, like here I got a 7, right? And then I'm going to add to the 7, and I'm going to add 5. So that's your second one, and then you've got your equals 12. Okay? You don't have to worry about like trying to do 7 plus 2 plus, I did the wrong thing there. So 8 plus 5 plus 3. You don't have to worry about that, okay? You just need to worry about one operand and add another operand and be able to click equals and get that value, okay? Your back button is not going to work once you have it doesn't need to work when you have already an answer there. It's only going to work when you're entering your numbers back, just going to get rid of the last one that you entered, okay? Obviously clear is just going to clear it. And then, you're going to have a square root. You're going to have your 1 over x, which is basically just taking, your number and then dividing that by 1, right? Dividing 1 by that number, right? So that's that. Then you've got your, you can change this from to a negative number, back and toggle that back and forth. Um, and then here you've also got memory. So here's just like kind of an open thing that nothing's in here, but once you do a memory save, you should have put your M in there, right? You can recall this, do what you want here, and then you should be able to recall this, and then it will recall what you put in there. Um, so what else did I really want to mention on this? So, obviously, however however you want to create the solutions is fine. That's up to you. As long as you, kind of make sure that all the functionality that's stated within the document for this calculator is followed. But here I was just kind of show you, instead of, a lot of times we're always used to doing button dot clicks. You click up, each one's going to be its own method for clicking. But here, what you can do is for like all your numbers, right? All your numbers, what you can do here is, and I think I showed you this before for a different lab assignment, is using the tag. So you can tag each one of these with a number. So you can see over here on the right hand side on the properties, that's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 5. And instead of doing a button.click event for each one of these, right, you can go ahead and just do one button number click event, right? So you just create a one number button click method, create one button number click event method, and then each one of these, all of these are going to call that one, right? So you're just going to have one method for all, one click event for all of these different numbers, okay? So that reduces that significantly. So you don't have one for each and have to do that. But these here, you basically are doing a separate click event for these, each one of these. Yeah. So each of one of those will have their own. And that will have a decimal. That one will be the sign click. Okay. But this is a good way for you to capture all of these different numbers. Obviously, just having that one method for all the numbers, and then based on the tag, right? We use those tags before. You can get that tag when you click on that. You'll be able to get that tag, so you can determine which one was clicked, which number you need to add. Obviously, you're for this little program here, you're going to have to hold on some data. So you'll have to hold on to this some data at the top of your class while you're going through this. But like I said, you're only going to have to worry about really adding 1 plus one other number, and so you're going to have to kind of hold on to the result value, right? So I know, I hope this ain't too much. Anybody have any questions about this?